Hello and welcome to Frostpunk. My name is Running Robert and I'm going to be going through Frostpunk today. I'm going to be going through a full game on an easier setting just so people can get a good idea of what they're getting at. So, Frostpunk is made by 11-Bit Studios. They've also made This War of Mine, so they definitely choose very hard, gritty stories for it. Like I said, they started off a few years ago, or about a decade ago, with their first couple games. And they've really just kind of blossomed from there. So that is what we're going to be doing. So what we are going to be doing today is we're going to be selecting the scenario, and we're going to be doing a new home. This is the main storyline from Frostpunk. There are a couple other scenarios that are included in the main game, and the Last Autumn is a scenario that is included in the first DLC they've put out. They will be putting out another DLC coming up soon. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to click on the main story. And so we're going to be preserving civilization from the chaos of its own downfall. So what we're going to be doing for this one, because we're doing a general walkthrough, I have beat it on hard, but we're going to be playing it easy just so I can really kind of talk you guys through the game and see how it goes. The biggest thing that we're going to be worrying about with this is going to be food and coal. Big things that we're going to be doing. So everything is set to easy just to kind of give you a walkthrough so I can also kind of walk through the game. So without further ado, we will start with the story.
Roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped of pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
So, there you go. So, new home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the generator only to find it solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any other people survive the blizzard? Are there others out there? Whatever we do, we must expect the worst, now that the world we know it has crumbled, and we have to survive. Alright, and so this is going to be our city building area right here. There's not much more that we have to worry about with it. So, first thing we need to do is we need to get the generators working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we will freeze. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. Okay. So, first thing we are going to do is we are going to pause the game. Go over a couple stats that we're looking at here. So, up at the top we have coal. So that's how much coal we have. Wood, steel, and steam cores. We will get into steam cores later. We also have our raw food and our food rations. People can't eat raw food. what we're going to have to struggle is trying to get this coal up. So if we look around our area at the moment, we can find little just crates of stuff. So we have wood crates, more wood crates, and some steel. Over here we do have our coal piles. We have another one over there, along with more wood and steel. Okay, so that is our first stop. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the temperature overlay. So at the moment it kind of shows you the temperature that you are doing. Obviously, if you are in this red, you're perfectly fine. If you are in the orange, as a lot of people you see, they're livable. So they're good. There's a small chance of them getting ill. Obviously, if you are chilly, there's a low risk of getting ill. Cold, you're in trouble. Very cold, high risk of getting ill, low risk of becoming gravely ill, and freezing is when bad things happen, just like anything else. Looking down here, it tells us the people that we have. So we have our general workers, our engineers, and our children. First thing we need to do is obviously fight the coldness around the generators, and we need to get these people homed up. Okay, so we are going to take it out of there. So a couple things that we're going to need. There's a lot of wood crates over here, and there's two ways we can collect them. One is we can click on them and actually assign people to them. This will send 15 workers over to this wood crate to get it. They will take about 7 wood an hour. Okay. The second thing that we can do, and that we will be doing up here, is a gathering post. A gathering post will gather everything in that area to it. So right here is a great place for a gathering post. It gets my 2 coal. I also have to build roads. Roads do take wood, so it's sometimes not the best to do it. Okay, so we can get him in there. And we're going to assign, we need under construction first. So we're going to get some construction going. And we're just going to kind of send a couple people out to this coal post to begin with. Okay, so we start the time without the roads. People will just kind of dig their way through the snow. So again, we also need to take care of our homeless problems. We're going to need to build tents. Tents need 10 wood per one. And what you want to do is you want to keep your tents as close to the city center as possible. When we turn this generator on, it's going to warm just the initial area to begin with. Obviously, as we get bigger, we're going to have to put up little mini generators and other stuff like that. Okay, so as we click here, we can see our people are moving their way to that gathering post, which is going to livable, and they're moving their way to the areas. Okay, so for the moment, we're just going to speed it up just a little bit. So you see we're gathering the wood. Each tent houses 10 people. You don't have to worry about birth rates. These are done in like single days. So really, you just need to make sure that everybody has a house to begin with. So we have 5 built right now. We're going to need 3 more in a little bit. This is really the first thing that we need to take care of, is getting people housing up there. And you see our coal is in good shape. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 houses. So we're going to do 5, 6, 7, and 8. So all the people now have a house to stay in. What we're looking at here too is work time. So at the very beginning, people work from normal shifts. You have also extended shifts. We did the build option a little bit. We're going to look at our book of laws. So our book of laws are laws that we make during the game to continue on. So this is just adaptation. Very simple. When we look at it, you get this thing. You can only do one every 24 hours. So when looking at here, it's like we need to figure out kind of what we need at the moment. So one thing is we can have emergency shift, just after this law can be passed. You can force your workers to work for 24 hours if you need that. It also extends on, if you can't see it, to extended shifts here. We also have child labor. So we need to either figure out whether the children can be safe in shelters, or do we need to put them to work. We need cemetery or corpse disposal, which nobody's died yet. So we should be okay for that. We also have treatment options, food options, and a fighting arena. So right now we are going to sign on some emergency shifts. because that's kind of what we need at the moment. So discontent's going to rise, but we need people to collect as much of this stuff as possible. Okay. And emergency shift 2. So they're going to work constantly for the next 24 hours. Our houses are being built. The last thing that we're going to need to do, so we have people over here. We have health, which is medical post, which is going to keep people alive. But we also are going to need some food. So 2 things you need is you have your hunters who will go out at night and will track the food. And you have your cookhouses, which will turn raw food into meals. So raw food is used to prepare more stations. So right now what we're going to do is we are just going to build one of those. And at the same time, we are going to build our medical tent. Okay, so with those 2 things built, we're going to speed up time just a little bit. So you see we have now enough houses for everybody. Oh, so this has come up. This has given us a choice of something that we have to do. We're going to click it. So generator is turned off. People are afraid they're not going to make it. That's okay. At the moment, like I said, with tents, the tents are livable. So as long as someone has somewhere to stay, they are in good shape. Also, the hunter's hut is comfortable, though hunters don't stay in the hunter's hut. Okay, so again, we can speed this up a little bit. We are getting our last houses done very soon. You know, we are stockpiling a lot of coal, which is really good to start off with. Okay, we have that. Let's put some of our engineers into that. And then the last thing that we're going to do is tech. Oh, and I'm sorry about that. Tech is helping us do research. So we're going to need that too. So we're going to go ahead and build that. And all of a sudden you kind of see a slight issue. I have 2 more buildings that need to be built. But I only have 5 more engineers that are doing it. And what you've seen here is 1 person has gotten sick. And unfortunately now 1 person has died. They died in a Worth accident. Oof. So one of our people just died. Sickness, accidents, and deadly cold will keep them living in the harsh world. We need to dispose of the body. So unfortunately, we already kind of opened a book of laws. And we have to wait another 8 hours to do it, but we're going to build a cemetery. There's 2 options we have. We can just kind of throw our corpses into a snow pit. There's new building, no risk of disease. Bodies are preserved for potential future uses. Let's not talk about that. You have to dig a smoke pit. Hope will fall. Discontent will fall. The other one, cemetery. Hope will rise slightly. No risk of disease from unburied bodies. Each burial will keep some people from work for a few hours. You'll have to establish a cemetery. If you look down here, we have 9 hours till that. Oh, and now we have this come up. So, emergency of death of an overwork. Whenever people die suddenly, we don't know what happened, but it's likely it was a heart attack. So what we can do is we can end all emergency shifts, or we can keep making people work. If we end that, hope will rise slightly, discontent will fall. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to end the shift for the moment. So, it sucks, someone died. You know, it got the people working until 1 a.m. Okay, so we see one of our wood crates has been finished here. So those people can now go into the hunter hut. We have about 100 wood, so we're in good shape there. And we finally have our people done here. So from that, now we can do research. So each research starts at 1 level, and then we would have to expand it to get to other levels. So what we're going to really be looking for is what helps us the most to begin with. So we can do faster gathering, which will help. We can do coal thumper, which will give us some coal, which will give us a lot of coal to start. And there really is no hugely wrong answer about what you're going to do first. You need to kind of look at, we're going to pause for a second. So we have 400 coal. Still haven't turned our heater on. We have a couple days before it gets cold. If you look up here, you have your day calendar. So at day 5, temperature is going to drop and then kind of rise a little bit later. So we have a lot of time with that. We have food. We have a lot of stuff that we need in there. Obviously, we've now taken off all that wood, and we need to look at other piles to get rid of stuff. So what we're going to be doing, and like I said, this is kind of what you need. Like steam hubs and heaters, we don't need at the moment. So steam hub will make a smaller little hub. Everyone is very close. We don't need that. Heaters for building, it's not that cold. Allows us to build a beacon. This is going to help us actually explore and do a lot of stuff and bring some resources back and extra people. This is going to give us resources, so obviously sawmills and coal thumpers are what we're going to be starting with, and then food and shelters. Really, we just have the hunters coming out to do that. Hunters return with more raw food from each hut. So we're going to start with this beacon here. And that's going to be our first one to go with. We're going to go back to some time. So obviously now you see that's 9 out of 10 because the one person died. Those wood crates have now been completely depleted. So now what we're going to be looking for is, we see a lot of stuff down here. We are also going to make another gathering post here. So it's going to get everything in that area. We have enough wood to build a good road system, so we are. Okay. So one of those people we can actually max out to there. And we've got everything started. So those are our hunters. Every morning about 6 o'clock, we'll get a little update on how everyone is kind of feeling. So they're okay at the moment. We have 2 people being treated, so we're in good shape. We still have a couple hours before we are able to do it. We said we can speed up the game a little bit here. We're going to leave that steel for the moment. So we are working on those coals, which are in good shape. And let's see. So we're actually doing pretty decent at the moment. If you go here, you can see kind of where everyone is working. So one thing that we are going to do, even though we are short on people, getting technology quicker is extremely helpful in this game. And I just can't really say that enough. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get that there. And we're going to start our road system. And we're just going to pretty much build this around, because we are going to continue to build up around here. Alright, so we're doing pretty well with coal. We will need some steel and some more wood as we're going. So new law time. Obviously the cemetery was something that we needed to get, so we will sign that into rest. You see that hope has gone up. And we will now go to health. Food, nope, man, let's see. It's in people. It's in people. So we will build a cemetery. We're just going to build it up here. Makes it nice. We see we have a decision to make here. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop. She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we'll send out. Okay. Well, we have that built, so we can actually send people there. We'll have a couple people for scouts. So we are actually going to X that out and have everyone in there, because I want my engineers to be working on that. So our coal is getting close to the top, and we have our beacon researched. So second thing, what is our next piece of research? Let's get some gathering going. Let's have people be able to gather everything quicker from the surrounding areas. It'll be super helpful for us there. What we are going to do now is we have a beacon, but we need more steel. So obviously, remember, we do have a steel pile over there. But we are going to see. So we're going to drop one person from here and move them to here. So if you see, our coal is almost full at the moment. So really, this gathering post, we're going to kind of drop for a second. And we're going to put everyone into getting steel. Beacon is extremely important for us. We're going to use it. We're going to speed up the game a little bit. We're still pretty good. The generator is fine being off. You can see where people are working. The biggest problem is people who are working in this area. Oh, the cemetery has been established. Now we can put our dead to rest. You can see in a lot of these buildings and a lot of their huts, they're warm. Obviously, they're not so warm where they're doing some gathering. So with this coal pile, we can actually minus that coal pile for a second. Kind of put that up there. We got faster gathering. We're in good shape there. So back to my technology tree. Coal Thumper. It's going to be our next stop because we're going to need more coal. Like you see, we have a lot of coal areas here, but we're going to need more. So all of our gathering posts, and then we can also double gather if we want. So obviously these people are collecting wood and things, but we need more steel. So we're trying to get as much steel as possible because we want to build this beacon. Speed up time a little bit. Said we are in decent shape. We only have 2 people who are sick. Our hunters are coming back here. That's where they're going. So we do have some food. The next thing we need to do is going to have to be building a cookhouse. So obviously, raw food is used to prepare better food. Like I said, we're just going to kind of plop that right there. And we have a question mark coming up. Heating is still off. Yes, we know. Everyone is generally okay where they are. Obviously, the people who are collecting from these 2 areas are a little colder. Everybody else is in good shape. We are running a little bit low on trees. So we're going to be working through that, but it's night. So we are in decent shape at the moment. So we're going to slow us down for a second. We're going to show you the one thing that you need to look at, the economy button. This will tell you what you're doing and how good everything is going. So this is kind of showing us extraction efficiency of all of our coal, how much coal we gain a day and how much we lose. Obviously it's 0. We have wood. Our wood day gain is 53 per day. Steel is 121 because I've assigned so many people to do it. Food. So right now we are consuming 79 food a day. We are gaining 17 raw food a day. So we definitely need to start kind of cooking some stuff up there. This tells us our treatments. We have 2 people who are in treatment. No one is untreated. And housing. So we have 11 vacant beds right now. So I must have built 1 extra tent. We have 79 inhabitants. Every one of them is livable. It is at night, so people really are kind of going to be going to their homes. So we are going to speed this up a little bit. Because we need people to start cooking some of this food also. So we are actually going to take a couple workers from here and have them cook. And this is going to say cookhouses produce 4 rations from each 2 raw food. So we got a little bit of a quiet, and then you have a little bit of a lull time in some parts of the game. This is going to be one of them. So we're just going to kind of hang out for a little bit. Obviously, we can move around our area for our Q and E and W and all the keys like that. We can see huge coal deposits. So after the thumpers start, we can kind of start mining coal. You see some here too. We have iron ore, so the steel works. And then trees, which we can cut down a lot easier than these wood crates. So, Book of Laws is open. Okay. So, what do we have to look at the moment? Okay. So, we don't need the treatment yet. Nobody's really sick. Ceremonial funerals are something that helps. Pretty much you're going to have funerals for the people who do die. Okay. For our food, so we can add sawdust to meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. Some people will become sick, so we're not looking at that. However, soup, we can cook soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount. It's good because people will get fed, but hope will fall, discontent will rise, and eating soup will cause discontent. We also can make a fighting arena. Nothing relieves tension than watching a fight. Evening bouts to reduce discontent. Okay, so that seems like a pretty easy one at the moment. Okay, so it's morning. They say, hey, at least we're alive. There's work to be done. And there is. We go to people. The fighting arena takes 15 wood. We are pretty... well, we can slip it in the city. We're going to kind of put it off a little bit more. Trying to find the best spot for it. Looks like about right there. So to help serve a lot of these houses, help with them with discontent. Right now I have no people. Couple things that you should know in the game is how you play it. So, you know, I could make the children work. There's a lot of laws I can enact that would make me, I guess, a bad person, if you want to go with that kind of thing. The goal of the game is, at the ending, it'll kind of show you everything that you have done. And this is kind of where you have a little bit of a reckoning. So if you've just been like a cruel overlord, it's going to say that. And it's going to say, well, maybe you didn't play as well as you should have. You know, and sometimes if you can be nice, it works out too. So what do we got? People they've started to work. Okay, fighting arena has been built. So now we can have stage fights. We are getting in our food and our wood. There we go. Okay. Move that a little bit because really we wanted to get our beacon. So the beacon we're just going to kind of put over here by this gathering pile. We have a new technology. Sawmill is probably going to be the next thing that we need to do, but we need more wood for it. So we're going to have to wait a second for it. So we're going to watch that until it goes up. There we go. And we're going with the sawmill now. So turns frozen trees into usable material up to 90 per day. Because we are out of wood. So I know we have some people in the crates, so at the moment we don't need the steel anymore. We need extra wood, so we're going to actually put more people on wood for the moment. We're going to speed this bad boy up. Yep, and we have something going on over here. A child's plea. Captain, we found a frozen boy frozen to the bone next to a fresh grave. He must have been there for hours. He wants you to call an emergency meeting. He says if you agree, his mother will wake up to attend it. So that is just so sad. And that's obviously going to hurt Hope. So, okay. There we go. Sawmill. Wonderful. Okay, and that's probably the first thing that we're going to have to look to build because we need trees. So we have some trees if we go here. Whoop. We built the beacon. From now our people are to survey the icy barrens that surround. We're going to get a little cutscene. And there we go. This is going to give us a chance to go out and explore the new area, which is good because we can collect people, which is the only way we can get people. Collect people and collect resources, as you can see here. So we're just going to go back to the city. And we know it's going to take 5 people to do it, so I'm going to actually -5 from this wood pile. I'm going to go to the beacon. I need 40 wood for that, so I guess we're going to have that happen for the moment. So we need some more wood. Oh, we got another question marks. Okay, so people cheers the giant observation blue swords. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done. Volunteers are lined up, eager to go looking for people. Okay, well, before that, we need to get more wood before we start any of that. And it's end of the day. So that's going to be a tomorrow. We have this guy saying the heating is still off. Again, looking at our temperatures, the fighting arena is a little cold. It's a little chilly there. Everything else is pretty warm. We have more than enough food, more than enough coal. We need to get these resources now next. So, like I said, overnight, there's not a lot we can do. We're just going to kind of let this day go by. So a lot of people are probably looking and be like, hey, he hasn't turned on his generator yet. What is going on with him? So we actually have a couple people who've gotten sick. A couple people are still in care. So when they're sick, they can recover by themselves. They do better recovering if they're actually in treatment care. Okay, so come on, people. We need to start this shift off. We can keep going like this for a while, I'd say. Okay, that's pretty nice. Another day, another shift. So we're actually going to take you out of the steel wreckage because I really need more trees to be able to do what I need to do. Okay. They're off. Oh, and technology. Let's see, the next thing we're gonna need, hunter's gear. This is gonna bring in more food, so we like that. We'll get that next. So, a lot of people, I guess, a lot of people who are coming out, they're coming from here being sick. Okay. So obviously there's no food for the cookhouse at the moment. So we have no discontent, which is great. We have one unpopular decision. No one is really sick. We're doing pretty decent. And we have our wood that we need. So I need the people for it, so we're just going to kind of take 5 from here. And we're going to add a scout. Okay. So the scout, we have 2 options. We can go to the Lost Expedition, which is numerous tents. We can see people moving about. They must be the lost members of our expedition. We are going to send our scout there. It's going to take him 11 hours to arrive. You'll see him up there. Hunter's gear, we have now researched. We are moving on to the next thing. Let's see, resources. So we're looking, we don't need heaters. We don't need the steam hub yet. We're going to go ahead now. We're going to get our steel mill. We're going to need that. And we need to get our sawmill in place too. So we're going to go to resources and the sawmill. Sawmill will actually tell us, hey, there's a lot of green in here, depending on where we place it. We have a lot of trees to cut down, or you can go to a spot where maybe you don't have as many trees. So if you get here, decent amount of trees to cut. If we get over here, we're not adjacent street. A decent amount of trees that we can cut there too. Obviously, if we get too close, we're going to destroy some of it. For the moment, let's see. We, I think, are going to go over here. That's a good spot. Going to build our road over to there. And then that's going to make sure our people don't freeze to death going out and collecting the wood. Because that's kind of what we're doing at the moment, is we are trying to collect all this wood. And it's starting to run low. And that's not good, because we need wood to survive. So the roads are going to start to be built. Our steelworks has been researched. Okay. So now we have everything there. We have all our food, shelter, steamworks. So we don't need it at the moment. But we're going to go ahead and kind of start the steam hub and the heaters. So the next thing that we're going to be doing is actually going to the drawing boards. We're a little low on wood at the moment, so I don't want to throw 50 wood there yet. So we're going to get these 2 technologies first. We're going to have to get them anyway. Oh, my first wood crates have been depleted. And so we are in good shape. So, okay, it's about to get cold here. So what we are going to do is we are actually going to turn on our first heating. As you saw, it got a lot warmer. So as you see, people from our convoy. Okay, with basic resources now taken care of, build a beacon, scout the Frostland is kind of what we've been doing at the moment. Hope has gone up. Rescue survivors of our lost expedition, which is what we did. So as this gets to temperature, you are going to see now the area that is closest is now really warm. No more blue. The houses are completely comfortable. The stockpile is livable, and the area around the area is very livable now. We are doing good. Unfortunately, it came at a risk because we are consuming 144 coal a day. And as you know, we took away all of our gathering supplies to try to get everything else up and running. So we might be in a little bit of trouble with that stuff. We also have a new book of laws. Okay. So what do we need? So we do probably need extended shifts. So we worked everyone overnight, they died. Extended shifts means that we can work more, and it'll cause discontent, and working overtime causes discontent, and the law itself will rise slightly. But it's kind of nice to need, so we need more stuff. So if we go to an area, so when we go here, we can actually switch it to working longer hours. So People are like, that really sucks. And it does, but this is like a, you know, apocalyptic kind of place going on here. So our wood here, we have 52 an hour, but we're going to kind of minus that a little bit so we can actually start getting some trees. This is also collecting wood and steel, which are both about to run out very quickly. And we are actually going to abandon this post for the moment, and you'll see why in a second, because it's about to get cold. Because we're going to actually go back over to this post with a couple people so that we can get coal, so we just don't run out of it. Oh, our scout is within about an hour of this. So that is very nice, and we are going to pretty much play through day 6 for this first run through. So this is kind of will give you a good idea of, hey, how to start, and I would start this way in any level game, pretty much. Try to get everything in, the research in, and you need to get this generator on before it gets cold. Okay, and he is there. So the rest of our people look to go on. So we hit explore, and that means we're going to search the area. So we enter the camp, appearing out of the driving snow. A choir of excited voices welcome us. Thank God you found us. We've been wandering for days. We couldn't go on any longer. Soon we'll begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed and ready to go. So we have two options. We can scouts will set out towards our city and bring the survivors quickly and safely with them. Survivors will set out towards the city on their own. It will take longer, and some of them might die. So we're going to escort them into the city. It's only 5 hours. It's not a big deal. You see another area has opened up. We found the sturdy shelter, observatory, and the gloomy caves. With that, we're going to need more housing. We know we have more people coming in, so we're going to have to build more. So we're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 new housing structures. I think I might be going a little bit more, but housing is something that you will need to provide every time you find somebody. What you see here is how long it's going to take back. He's returning 36 people, so maybe I built 1 extra, but that's okay. That's no big deal, because these people are going to be joining our city, and then we're going to be able to use them. And then as soon as he comes back, he is going to be sent right back out. There we go. And as these guys are getting built, they're not going to freeze to death overnight, which is very nice. Right now, our hospital is pretty much taken care of. We have enough housing for people. It is livable, so it's not as warm as the outside tents, but it's livable. It's nice. You know, if you can keep stuff in that yellow park, you're in pretty good shape. Okay? So, they return to the city. We have all these extra people. We can disband the scouts, which we are not going to do. We're going to send them back out into the lands. And we get our cutscene. It's heartwarming to see families united after so many hardships. But shouldn't there be other settlements nearby? The first expeditions left London long ago. They ought to be well established by now. They'll surely help us find our footing. We will look for them. So we're going to go to him. And let's see. Let's go. We have a sturdy shelter. A bulky stands above the hill. The Union Jack flies over, but there's no sign of movement. The particular building of the Arctic Observatory, there's smoke over it. Okay. Or we have... There's a dark cave entrance viable on the hillside. We think we saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from it. Let's go to the gloomy cave. I like that for the moment. But we have more people now, so we are going to use them. So we are going to pretty much search for others. People found a trail leading to the wilderness. We should follow it. Other people probably have survived. That's fine. We are good there. Let's make sure our sawmill is in good shape. It's good there too. So everyone has a place to stay. We actually have more citizens that are needed too. So what we're going to do, well, we have no wood at the moment. So we are really not going to be able to do much. Especially since it's about to get cold. Okay, so we're gonna speed it just a little bit. You see our coal is going down a little bit. So we see it's starting to become day. Steel wreckage has been depleted. Okay. And woof, it just got chilly. What has happened here? So you can see now our gathering posts are cold. Our hunter's lodge is chilly, and most of our interior buildings are chilly, with a lot of this stuff being cold. That is not good. Obviously, our medical post is inoperative because it's so cold. That's inoperative, so the cold really kills you here. We are not quite prepared for it. We're getting heaters, and a lot of these buildings are going to be using heaters, but there's still just going to be some areas that are going to be chillier. Tents, unfortunately, only give you too much. So the weather is -2, the building insulation is 1. Here, we're in one of the warm zones, and we're in good shape. So what we can do here is we can put this into overdrive. So it's going to heat up the area a little bit more. So what you see here now, our first ring of building, still pretty cold, but a lot of other stuff has warmed up. So we have heaters. We are going to immediately use them. So if you click here, it'll turn on the heaters. We obviously need that for some of our buildings to stay warm. We don't need people getting sick. And you see, we've kind of warmed up the areas just a little bit here. So now these are not cold, they're chilly. There definitely still are some colder areas, unfortunately. 70 wood. We are going to get our steam hub because we are going to try to warm up. Well, 2 ways we can do this. And this is something you play the game and you try to figure out and you go through. So we can actually make the generator more efficient, or we can build smaller steam hubs in areas. So it's only going to be cold for a day, so we're actually going to upgrade our drawing boards for the moment, because we know that here, temperature is going to go up another level. So, like I said, that area is cold, but it's acceptable. We can throw these guys on to make them very nice. The problem with all of this has been, we go to coal, yeah, we're in good shape. We're getting 300 a day, and the coal consumption is 200. We are in good shape. We are stressing out the generator a little bit, but we want to see kind of what's going on with it. We want to keep our areas as warm as possible. Oh, and this resource post has now been, it's not useful anymore. So we are going to dismantle it, and we're going to build another one over here. So resources, gathering post, more steel and coal here. So we are just going to kind of build that into the city. Sawmill's going. We're getting trees, which is huge. We have a steel wreckage over here that we're not going to touch, and we're still kind of working on this coal. If I click on it, it says how much coal that we have, how much coal we collect per hour, and how much coal there is. So we still have some coal left here, but we're going to have to start looking at that coal thumper coming up. So we are going to work on that. There we go. Drawing boards researched. Okay. We're going to go back to the drawing boards, and allows us to turn up the generator range setting and extending its heat zone. More coal is used. Allows us to raise the temperature in all zones by 1 level. We will probably need this one at the moment, but since we're only going today, we're going to skip it. We can get more scouts, which will help us scout a lot better. We can do more resources here, so we can get, obviously, coal mining, sawmill upgrade, wall drill, everything like that. And then food and shelter. We can actually research a bunkhouse, which will make it a lot better. A dwelling for 10 people that is adequately protected from the weather. This is better than our tents at the moment. We're going to go with more scouts to begin with. Okay. So we're doing well with the Book of Laws. Do we need anything in this Book of Laws at the moment? So what we're going to do, we need to make our children safe. That's going to be something that we're going to do. Children stay safe in the shelters and they won't cause any mischief. We are going to sign that into law. We have some wood, we have some steel. What we're going to be doing is we need child shelters to be built. They are big buildings, so I can understand if someone's like, I don't know if I want to build them or not. They take up a decent amount of space. We're going to go ahead and grab them, and we're going to go ahead and grab our road around there. Right now we have 19 children, so we built 2 shelters. We are researching more scouts, so we are in good shape. We're trying to get to this temperature rise here. Our generator is still 30. Generator stress is 31%. Don't let it go to 100. It goes boom. So we're going to kind of speed this game up a little bit. Oh, let's get people at that gathering post. We actually have enough people to do what we need to do at the moment. So we've reached the Gloomy Cave. We're going to explore. Beset by bears. Alright, we've received the cave. When we come closer, several polar bears towards us block the entrance. There are people trapped inside, and these beasts are picking off one by one and feasting on them. Well, we can't let that happen. Let's get the bears. When our scouts attacked, the people in the cave joined them, and together they drove away the beast. So they're going to be heading back with more people. So when you click here, heading back with another 34 people. Well, one thing I definitely need to look at then, housing. I have 25 lots, 25 vacant beds, so another tent. Let's see if we can find a spot for it just right outside the original city. And we're gonna go ahead and we only build one because we don't have that much stuff. Up. Children are cared for. That's really nice. This gathering post closed at this time during the day. Okay. So we have our children's shelters. They're built. That's really nice. This can keep them safe. A lot of people, like in the beginning games when I'm trying to do a lot of this, I use children labor, as terrible as I am, all the time. Because at first you just need the extra people to collect. Like I have 19 people who are not working, who we need to do stuff with. Okay, so that generator's starting to get a little stressed out there. You can see it's coming up. So what is it at? 56%. Okay, so we're okay for the moment. We're almost there. My coal consumption, I'm still doing really well with that. We're going to actually turn it off of overdrive because we are so close. As soon as you turn it off, obviously this is going to go down. Go on. There you go, 61. More people are turned into the city. And we are sending him off. So we're going to actually send him off. So we have a crash site. We have an observatory. The observatory is 20 hours, 22, 21. We're going to just go to the observatory. You can do this in a lot of order depending on if you need people really quick. One thing that we are going to have to look at starting to do is now, unfortunately, we're going to need more food. If we go to our food area now, we only are getting 44 a day, and we're consuming almost twice that. Starvation is kind of a big deal here. We're going to extend that working shift, unfortunately. So people are going to wake up and head right over there because we need more hunters to go on, which is fine. They're doing 22 a day, which turns into 44 food. We well more than that. So in our book of laws, we're going to change that. Oh. And you see, it's gotten warmer. Okay. With that warmth going on, well, so we see this post is still kind of cold, but we can actually kind of turn down some of our heaters. Let's see if we turn on those 3. Chili, we're going to keep him on. So we'll keep the cookhouse on. But we've turned off the child shelters and we've turned off the workshops. Means that we're going to be using less coal now. And like I said, they're doing their collection. However, we only have another 106 coal there. 300 coal there. So we're in good shape at the moment. So we're okay for the moment. So because the first thing we need is we need more food. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a couple more hunters' huts. That's one. I need more wood for the second one. So obviously if we're producing 44 food a day and we need 140, we're going to need a couple more of these huts. So we're going to connect them by road, which we don't have at the moment. We're going to kind of speed it up. More scouts, which is great. We'll get to that in a second. We need these roads. So we're not going to build as far as we were before. And we have a little wood for more scouts. So we're going to, we need 40 wood for that. We have to wait. And we have another book of laws that we can do at this point. Okay. So even though we have it at child shelters, we can still use the children a little bit. So children from child shelters will help at workshops, speeding up research. Or children from child will help at medical facilities. So, oh, they're both good. Oh, they are both good. And workshops are a lot later in the game. So at the moment, we're going to try to put them as medical people. That'll be a big help. We have more technology. So what we are going to do with that... Well, we can't really do much of anything. We don't have the wood for it. So you see, wood is a big problem. At first step. So like I said, these guys are going on an extended shift. They get 9 an hour. We're building that out. That's going to be another 15. So now you got to start counting people. So we're kind of waiting at the moment. 23, we're going to get it up to like 30, and I think we should be good now to look at what we need to do next. So we can do hothouses, which we can grow crops. They use steam cores. Steam cores are rare, so I normally don't do them at the beginning. We can get a medical post upgrade, which will help heal people quick, or we can start getting nicer houses for our people. That's, I think, where we're going to go for the moment, because as you saw, even some of these back houses are still a little chilly. Okay, so we have these people now, so we can actually start putting in a lot of them. And you see that I'm kind of running out of normal workers. Is there anyone else that I can use? Nope, everyone is in good shape. So I just want to thank you. Back in London, it was the weather that didn't have to send their kids to work. In this new world, you've created things that will be different. I paraphrased that a little bit. Okay, so we might need workers in some areas. So this, we're going to kind of cut down and put our engineers working. Ooh, bless me. I'm going to put our engineers kind of work on that because we need these extra workers to kind of work here. We're going to speed up time a little bit so I can get my second amount of wood. Like I said, we're good with coal. It's going to last us a couple days. We're really happy with that. You know, next thing is getting this beacon going. We can get new people. We are going to head over to this crash site with our second guy. So, like I said, we're going to kind of leave it. I wanted to leave it at this point for the first part of the game. As you kind of see, I have a basic city now set up. We're going through our little quest of trying to find other settlements. Everyone is housed. The children are happy. And we have a couple extra people who are free for new assignments. So in the next game, like I said, the big thing we're going to be working on then is trying to continue to get our wood production up and start to build our coal thumpers. Because obviously we're going to need coal, What do we have here? People, some of our people are concerned about the low temperatures. I'm not going to address that right now. So we can heat some homes for 2 days. We can heat all homes 5 kilometers within 24 hours and keep them heated. And I won't address that right now. So what happens if I don't do it is it's going to lead to some discontent. It's just fine. I'm okay with that. We're playing on the easy level. We are close to building our technology. But like I said, we're going to worry about that in the next game. So with that, I am going to leave you guys with what we have at the moment. So, and look for part 2 to come out pretty soon. Thank you very much.